टूर पोलो रिसोर्ट इन दुबई, लेट्स टेक यू ऑल द वे टू कश्मीर। कश्मीर की वादियों से हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं Khalid Hamid. He's the author of Kastoor, which is a book on Kashmir conflict. And by the way, he's also a recruitment manager and he comes from Alain. And he's right here in the studios with us. Unki book already published ho chuki hai. So, Khalid, very warm welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me today.
Khalid, before I met you, I thought that एक छोटा सा झोला लिए, कोई खादी का कुर्ता पहने, एक राइटर टाइप कोई ऑथर जो टिपिकल हमारे दिमाग में होता है, वैसे वाले आएंगे, बहुत ही संजीदा, बहुत ही सीरियस। पर लेकिन यहाँ पे देख रहा हूँ तो एक ब्लू क्रिस्प सूट में एक स्ट्रैपिंग यंग मैन, हु इज राइट ऑफ, आई फील लाइक एक फोटोशूट से आए हैं, तो वैसा वाला आपका लुक है, तो विच इज ग्रेट। ऑफ कोर्स थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, पर बताइए, हाउ डू यू जगल रिक्रूटमेंट एंड राइटिंग अ बुक एंड दैट टू अबाउट कश्मीर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ ऑल थिंग्स?
To be honest, it was a big challenge. मैंने जब शुरू की थी ये किताब, I didn't know how to write a book. मुझे पहले बहुत सारी किताबें पढ़नी पड़ी. I had like no idea. I wrote some drafts and manuscripts और सब बेकार थी. They were not good. I had to send it to my friends who read, and they were not happy. He said, Khalid, no, you need to first read some books and understand how a story is built. Then I started researching, and then only I started writing this book. And then I became serious because there's a good story about this book. I'll tell you this. The name Kastoor is because of a bird called Kastoor in Kashmir. It's in English it's called Tickle's thrush, and it migrates through Himalayas, Nepal, Bangladesh, and comes back to Kashmir. And but recently it has stopped coming to Kashmir because there has been a very few sightings of this bird.
Because of the conflict?
Because of deforestation. But it's an ode. It's a metaphorical ode because the youth of Kashmir are leaving Kashmir a lot. For to find jobs, opportunities because there is not much jobs. ज़्यादा jobs नहीं है वहाँ पे. So a lot of youth. So this struck a chord with me. So I decided to write a book about it. Yeah, because and it's the story is pretty amazing because it's based and inspired on a true crime event that happened in 2009. And there was a crime patrol episode on it as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
It had a national uproar, and it inspired me to write the story. And we were in college. We had a film making club with friends,
Okay.
with actors and camera people, and we decided to make this movie. I wrote this story, but we were not doing justice because we didn't know much about movie making, and we're not doing justice to the story because the story was too good.
So you ended up writing a book on it.
5 years ago, when I was in UAE, I decided I was like, this story is too good to be left alone. I need to write a book about it.
But what is the connection of Kastoor, the bird, with it?
Because you see, as the bird has left coming home, it's like the youth of Kashmir. They don't want to be in Kashmir anymore because of the conflict, because of no jobs, and
Joblessness, yes, yeah.
they don't feel safe. So that's why I wanted to write this book, and I wanted to show real Kashmir, not just the conflicted Kashmir, not just the Kashmir of beauty. Kashmir with real people, real problems.
Just on a related thought, by the way, आपने birds की बात की, तो एक story है जो मुझे काफी दिनों से बतानी थी अपने audience को कि eagles जो है, they are facing a conflict right now in Ukraine. They are also seeing that. So they've evolved. The species has evolved so much that they have changed their usual flight path, and they are no longer flying over Ukraine because of the war. And this is what birds do, like when they see danger, when they see that their home is being destroyed, they don't go there anymore.
True.
So I think that is what your book also pretty much starts with. And it's a fictional story, or is it a true story?
It's a fictional story inspired by a true event, but there's a hint of that event in that book. But it talks about real people, about four friends basically who go through this college journey of college and in Kashmir. And it's based in 90s. It has that 90s nostalgia. Yeah. So you feel like
आप खुद कश्मीर से हो, right?
I am from Kashmir, जी.
आपकी पढ़ाई कश्मीर में हुई?
पढ़ाई. I did my bachelor's. Till bachelor's I studied in Kashmir. Then I moved to Bangalore. Did my master's there. I lived in Bangalore for almost 4 or 5 years. Then I moved to UAE. It's been around 10, 12 years since here.
Okay. When was the last time you went to Kashmir?
Last year. I had a wedding of my brother-in-law. And contrary to belief, it's a safe place to go.
Of course, I was there in 2015, I suppose. Yeah, 15, before I even came to the UAE. And I'd gone there with my parents and my uncle, auntie, and we were like two families. And it was amazing as ever. Like, I never felt even a hint of conflict really over there. We went to Srinagar, we went to Gulmarg, we went to Sonmarg, we went to Pahalgam. And it was very peaceful.
It's amazing.
And of course the beauty is breathtaking as well. So you go to Dal Lake.
Oh yes.
तो वो सारी चीजें मतलब हैं पर यही है कि कभी कभी कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट एरियाज अभी भी हैं वहां पर.
But they have gone almost now. I don't think there are many left.
अनंतनाग आई सपोज सोपोर.
No, not
क्योंकि
anymore.
मैं जब न्यूज में था टाइम्स नाउ में आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर देयर तो वहां पे ये वाले नाम बहुत आते थे हमेशा और वी हैड अ करेस्पॉन्डेंट देयर ऑफ कोर्स तो वी वुड ऑफन हैव हिम लाइव ऑन एयर टॉकिंग अबाउट दीज.
There are instances, but they have minimized so much. And to be honest, the news kind of highlights them too much. I remember I was in school one day. I was, getting a punishment from the teachers. They sent us to the principal's office, and principal had the TV going on, and on that was Aaj Tak or something. They were showing there's an attack in the Lal Chowk area near our school, and it's right now it's chaos. So we looked out of the window, and there's nothing. They were just showing some old news or something.
Really?
Yeah, there was nothing. We were just nothing is going on.
That's not right.
So since then, I'm dubious about news. I don't believe them, to be honest. They highlight it way too much, or just for the ratings, to be honest. That's why I wanted to.
Kashmir's been one of those issues that gets everyone talking, that gets everyone to watch, and gets interested basically.
100%, 100%.
But while you're here, you're also a recruitment manager. You're hiring people, or you are into the other side of it?
Yeah, I'm into hiring people. I've been doing hiring for almost 10, 11 years now. I'm currently in clinical recruitment, physicians recruitment in a healthcare company. But before I was
really,
in
we get a lot of doctors on our show, by the way.
Oh, that's amazing.
If some of them are listening, they might just push the CV.
Please reach out to me, Khalid. In LinkedIn, you can.
Khalid Ahmed, right? But I have got some authors also I've spoken to on the show, and I've realized one thing after talking to them that writing a book these days, you can't do it for money because it's never going to. It's mostly you are spending your own money for getting it published and
100%.
doing all the research and stuff like that.
We call it in the authors field the coffee money. We get coffee money out of it. That's it. It's just we wanted to show our creativity to
Coffee
the
will be cafe tea. Starbucks wala mein.
Exactly. वो भी नहीं. True.
So since it is a fictional story, like every author and every director says, with it has inspired from true events. Tell us what the story is all about. Just give us a synopsis.
I'll give you a little bit of synopsis, of course. So this story is about 4 friends who go through the journey of college. We basically show a background of how they became friends first. It will give you a lot of nostalgia when you read this story. You're like, this is how I felt. Everybody in any part of the world will be able to relate to it. And then some tragedy happens to them, and I want to share that. And how they cope up with it. And the whole system is corrupted and rigged against them. And how they have to fight against the system. And I wanted to, showcase the women power in that. So there is a really important character in this, which is a woman, which plays a very crucial part in that story. Shows the woman power, basically. And it revolves around the whole... and I'll give you one clue, which is that it's about the drug use in Kashmir, which has gone really prevalent recently.
It's still a big problem.
It has become a big problem, to be honest.
We haven't heard about it like so much.
Yeah,
maybe that's not been highlighted so much in the
No, they have other things to highlight.
Right. So while you were writing this story, how did you go about doing your research? Did you go there and write the story, or did you just talk to people while being here?
To be honest, I didn't need to do a lot of research. I had to do a little research about the story that I was inspired by. I wanted to showcase that in a more real way, but I didn't want to literally copy it because that would not be the justice to that event that happened. But it was inspired by that. But what I have actually done, which is interesting, is I have actually taken real people, like my close friends, and I've based those characters on them. And every character that you see, that you will read about this book, you will visualize that you will have a friend which is very similar to that.
So relatable.
Very relatable. And the person who's never read a book in his life will be able to finish this book in a day. I made it so easy. I wanted to write a book which is easy on eyes, basically.
Are you looking to now get this book televised in some way?
That's the plan. I would love, because I there's a friend of mine who is his name is Abrar Kazi. He actually works for Z Network. He has a show called Kumkum Bhagya. So he's the main actor in that.
Oh really?
Abrar.
Okay.
So
Kumkum Bhagya is still on?
It's still on, yeah, but with a different actor.
I was a kid when it started.
Yeah, this is the third iteration of the story. Third season.
In India, the TV series seasons go on for God knows how many seasons.
It's on 2,890th episode so far. of the new iteration, by the way.
Last I was watching the Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, it was some 5,000 episodes.
Exactly.
Funnily enough, when I was young, when I was really young, like I was 14, I did one TV serial called Kabhi Hai Kabhi Wo, which was produced by the same guy who's making Tarak Mehta now.
Wow.
Asit Modi, his name is. And that Neela Telefilms, they are
Yeah.
the same people. But in those days, it was Doordarshan time, so we didn't have daily soaps, A, and secondly, the serials wouldn't go on and on for like so many years. They would, but also the quality of the show was a lot better. I guess the writing was a lot better. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Tell me, while now that you've written the book and it's out, how is it doing?
It's doing pretty good. It was a bestseller on Amazon for almost a week, which is a big deal. It almost beat Hamlet, Shakespeare Hamlet, for a few days. Not all time, but it was a great.
Wasn't
issue.
Hamlet also based somewhere in? Okay, which was the last movie that Vishal Bhardwaj made?
Oh, Haider. Yes,
Haider.
it is based on Hamlet, though. Yeah.
Correct. So Haider was also Kashmir.
Kind of. So yeah.
See, I'm trying to get the
The irony is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Whenever authors come on the show, I tell them if they want to give away their book to anyone who's listening and wants to get their hands on the book. So, do you want to do that?
I definitely want to do that. Why not?
Okay, so tell us if you want Khalid's book. It's called Kastoor. It's based on Kashmir conflict. It's a fictional story inspired by true events about 4 friends in college. Let us know 0586861003. But why do you need this book? And if Khalid likes the answer, he will give away the book. I have nothing to do with it. It's completely his call. 0586861003.
Talk 100.3.
This is Ronak Kodecha on Live Talk, and with me still is the author of Kastoor, Khalid Hamid. This is a book which is based on the Kashmir conflict. It's about 4 friends in college and what happens with them. One incident changes their life. The book is in my hands, and this is the kind of book that I feel I can read within a day, like you said. I'm just going to read out first couple of lines from the chapter 1, which is called Family. It says, nestled between the great Himalayan mountains, where the land reaches up to touch the sky, lies the beautiful valley of Kashmir. Like a precious jewel held gently in nature's hands, this enchanting place captures the gaze of the world with its charm. A land where heaven and earth dance together in harmony, with green meadows meeting blue skies, and the air echoing legends and longing. Wow, this got me hooked. So we're getting some messages from we're still getting messages actually from a lot of people, and they're saying they want the book. One of the messages that we've got is from this person whose name only goes by H. उन्होंने आगे कुछ नहीं लिखा है. वो कहते हैं कि because I love reading with philosophical approach. Then there's another one by Geeta. She's saying because I was born in Kashmir. And then there's one more by Sheena. She's saying that I would love to have this book because I've never been to Kashmir. Now, that's the thing about Kashmir, either you've been there or you haven't been there, but there's so much enigma to it that you always want to know more about it. Now, you said that this book did well for 1 week. अभी आगे क्या plans है आपके इस book को लेकर?
To be honest, अभी इस किताब ने शुरुआत ही की है. We just launched on 30th of June, and it's been only like a month, but it's doing really good. अभी मैं चाहता हूँ कि आगे जाके I hope there is some sort of entertainment, probably a movie or something that could be made out of this movie, of this book, because this book has such a potential story. Whenever I read my book again, I'm like, oh, ye maine likhi. It's too interesting. I want to know what happens next.
Do you want to still keep this open where you want to give the book
Definitely.
to those who are replying to our question? Why do you want to have this book in your hands? It's called Kastoor, which is by Khalid Hamid. Tell us, and we as in Khalid will send across the book to you. 0586861003 पर you can let us know. अभी के लिए all the messages that we've got, I told you. But also, I wanted to talk a little bit about your recruitment side of life. So, which organization, if you can name it, you are with, and what all happens over there? How do you help people get jobs?
I'm working for a very big organization, Mubadala. So,
okay.
Alhamdulillah. But we're working on the healthcare side of that, and I've been working as a recruitment manager. It's an amazing place to work, amazing culture, to be honest.
It's based in Dubai or Alain?
It's based in Abu Dhabi though, but we have clinics and hospitals all across the whole region. And pretty amazing, to be honest, this place to work, and it's growing. It's growing every day.
So you hire doctors, you said.
I specifically in my department hires doctors, but we have different.
But you are not a doctor yourself, right? Or
Yes,
you are.
I'm not a doctor. But
Then how do you ask questions to doctors? Like what
I've
kind of
learned, to
questions?
be honest. It took me a lot of time to learn the clinical background, to get the clinical background right, so that I can ask the right questions to right people. Because there are so many departments. You know, for an ophthalmologist, I have to ask different questions. But again, the clinical side we leave to our other physicians that interview. But you know, to screen
Just the attitude and the interpersonal skills and all of that, I guess you.
and the qualifications, if they match, why not we give them a chance to hire doctors. I think it's one of the toughest recruitment in in the whole world, probably.
You've done hiring of other people before, like other disciplines?
Yeah, I was in hospitality. I was working in Dubai, in Rotana, Jumeirah. I worked in hotels, and I was again either in HR, recruitment, or learning and development. I used to train people. So
how is it different to hire a doctor versus hiring a regular person?
hiring a doctor is so difficult. It's not easy because most of the time we have to headhunt them. You know, they don't want to be. They don't want.
It's not like a regular
No.
interview process.
No. It's quite a difficult and different process, to be honest. Because let's say we want to hire a dermatologist. Every hospital will prefer. I want the best dermatologist. So we look for the best dermatologist and we reach out to them. So it's more of a head hunting rather than people applying to us.
Okay. And what all positions are you filling right now?
There's a lot of positions, to be honest, we're filling right now. We have in IVF right now, and in endocrinology, ophthalmology. There's a lot of physicians, to be honest, positions. So reach, you can M42 career website. You can check out, and if you're a physician,
M42. Huh?
The name has changed from Mubadala to M42 because there was a collaboration between G42 and Mubadala. So we came up with M42. It's now the biggest healthcare organization in UAE, basically.
Okay, so if you are looking for a job, you know where to look for it. M42, especially if you're from a healthcare background. M42.com, is that the website?
.e, yes. You can reach out
M42.e. Okay, we are getting messages again for the book, but Omar Sahib has messaged that he wants to feel the fragrance of Kastoor. Diving more into it, he needs a copy. I think we should give him a copy.
I think, yeah, that was a good message.
You will have to do this. We are not going to get involved in this.
No problem.
But
I'll get the contact details of
we
Omar
will
and
send you the contact details, and then it's between Khalid and you. But if anyone still wants a copy, I think, are you open to give away more
100%.
copies? Okay, because all the authors really want their word to get out.
Exactly.
That's the main aim. 0586861003 अभी थोड़ा सा time बचा है. Let us know if you want this book, Kastoor by Khalid Ahmed. It's a book on Kashmir conflict, and Khalid will send it across to you if he likes your answer of why you need this book. Now, before I close the discussion, I want to know when are you going to Kashmir next?
I'm going either at the end of this year or the start of the next year.
And what's your favorite place in Kashmir? What do you like to do?
Oh, that's a good question, to be honest. Because I've seen all the nice places.
Of
touristy
course, you don't do
places.
the touristy stuff. Right?
Yes. I prefer the city, to be honest.
The Srinagar
city. I prefer, going around Srinagar. It's if you know the right places. There's a place called Pari Mahal.
No.
Pari Mahal, not many tourists go there. Very few amount of tourists. That's in the Srinagar city. It's literally. It used to be a palace. Now it is still a palace, but again, it's a different kind of palace now. It's just a tourist destination, and there's a lot of folklore linked to it. People say there used to be fairies who used to bathe there, or whatever.
Okay.
But it is a beautiful place because it is based on a side of a mountain top, and you can look at almost all of the Kashmir from there. It is so wonderful. That's my favorite place, and the road to it is so mesmerizing. You'll feel like you're in Switzerland. I mean, better. I had friends from Switzerland actually come to Kashmir and said, "Oh, no, Switzerland is no comparison. This place is amazing."
Yeah, and what other stuff is there? Because when we go to Kashmir, we end up seeing Gulmarg, Sonmarg, Dal Lake. These are the things Pahalgam you go to. इससे ज़्यादा तो I don't know क्या है.
बहुत सारी. I mean, you should go to Gurez whenever you're in Kashmir. Go to Gurez. That is, and you will find very few tourists there. And now it's seeing a little bit of footfall from tourists, but before nobody used to go there. The Gurez is number one.
What is there?
It's basically larger than life meadows. Like, no, the meadows that you see in Gulmarg and Pahalgam, they're good. But when you want to see like endless meadows with mountains all so far away from you, that's Gurez. And in Pahalgam, you have to trek. Beyond Pahalgam, there is a valley. I'm forgetting the name, to be honest. But if you take some horses and trek, they will take you to a place that is going to take your breath away. I forgot the name of it. It's a very Kashmiri name. It's a bit difficult to remember, to be honest, but it is so amazing. They do zip lining there as well, by the way. And it feels like you're in a movie or something, like a wallpaper on a computer or something. It's that beautiful.
Portrait, like.
And even in Sonmark, there's a place called Tarsar Marsar or Kishansar Vishansar. These are lakes, by the way. Kishansar Vishansar and Tarsar Marsar. They used to name lakes for some reason like that. But if you go there, you will, the people normally think of Ladakh and those beautiful lakes. Oh, you're gonna forget them.
Really?
They are next level. The water is like crystal, like mirror.
How's the education and all over there now? Are there schools, colleges functioning normally?
Oh, very well. I come from a disco school. It's called Tyndall Disco School. It's a Christian missionary school with a 99% Muslim population, which is quite amazing. Shows. And every morning every morning we do a Christian prayer. Oh holy God, the whole thing.
Okay.
And yeah, nobody ever projected. Like people actually don't see this side of Kashmir. That I think the most
the
communal harmony.
the peaceful, communally very, very safe.
Exactly. People don't actually think about it.
Inclusive kind of an environment that it has.
100%.
I guess, there is a lot of misconceptions. So in this book, have you tried to bust some of those?
Yes, I did. Because I didn't want to directly make it like a kind of like a propaganda book. I wanted people
Or
to
a documentary.
Or a documentary. I wanted people to actually feel through these characters, the humanity of these people.
Mm-hmm.
That was more important to me.
Okay, I guess it's as exciting as it sounds. So thank you so much for coming in. Next time, if I go to Kashmir and if I want to see those lesser known places, I know who to contact. That's Khalid Hamir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure, 100%.